say that money is the root of all evil, while others say if you have money, you have everything. Well, don't fret. We're not talking about money. We are not talking about finances here. No, it's not business and finance. It's today's life on Eka Television International. You're welcome once again. And as usual, I still have my crew, my awesome crew. You know, they're always the best. Engineer Tony.
So Joyce is not around.
I imagine what is happening out there.
Joyce is not around.
That's not what I mean.
She's watching. Hey, she will be in her own office. I'm happy to be here, but I can't tell about later after the show. Where do you and Joyce will meet in your office?
I didn't mean that. She's not.
Be defending yourself there. Just wait.
Just
you finish the show.
You
will go and settle.
What do you do? Just apply emotional intelligence now. And
She
deal
didn't
with the
watch
issue.
the show yesterday. So she doesn't know anything about emotional intelligence.
I watched it.
Are you serious?
Yes. I also have Solomon. This introduction is like really awesome. We basically did not even mention our names. Okay. Again, I'll say it. Engineer Tony and Mr. Solomon Sabe.
I'm happy to be here.
It's always a pleasure having you on set. And from my introduction, I was talking about how some people just say that money is the Bible actually says that money is the root of all evil. The love of money, actually, yeah. The love of money is the root of all evil, and then another group was saying, if you have money, you don't need anything again, you have everything. So today we're going to be creating a balance. We're going to be talking about money. What is it? How should we spend it? How should we look for money? How should we not look for money? I think we're just going to talk everything about money. Or rather, we are going to be talking about everything about money, not I think. Yeah, we're going to be talking everything about money.
You didn't tell them your name.
I think they're listening to us.
Okay.
So they understand I'm speaking to them as
Prudence
well. Although I'm
Burger.
looking at
William.
You know that introduction of names. Sometimes I notice most time it happens to whoever is opening the show. Like, you know,
They don't care.
they don't care. Yes, like
They are known.
They are known.
Okay, let's talk money.
Yeah, let's look at.
Everybody starting this show, they were saying, yeah. I don't know why. I noticed on today's live, anytime I did today's live, if you are the first person to talk, you say, yeah. Maybe it's as a way of relief or something. I don't know. Just say, yeah.
It's like, okay, let me start.
Okay.
Yeah, let me start.
Yeah, Oh, amazing. What a day to be alive. Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Father. You know, it's always a privilege and an honor to be here and then to learn from each other. Let's look at the definition of money in a simple term. You know, money is something that is generally acceptable by people, you know, to
Trade.
To trade, you know. So, yeah, and then if you look at it globally, it varies. You know, it varies. So that means the way people look at money definitely would varies, and then the way people put value on money also would varies. So, but like you rightly said from your introduction, we are trying to look at money, and then because the general notion is that money is everything. Once you have money, you have everything. Once you have money, you can control like everything, you know. So that alone gives people drive, you know, to see that whatever they have, they can use it to do whatever they feel they want to do at a particular time. You remember how money flies during our 2023 general election, because in some people's belief is that once you have money, you can buy your way, because they believe money is everything. Once you throw the money there, you get whatever you are looking for, you know. So, but looking at it, the Bible talked about money, and then he created balance. Money is good, but the love of it is the root of all evil. Now you have money, that thing that you praise value, that people accept as, you know, something that you can exchange for something. How do you go about using it? I think that's key. You know, that is key. So using it, acquiring it, and how to use it, that's what we are trying to create balance for it. And then try to help someone out there. And then we'll see how, at the end of the day, somebody will have money and they will use it wisely, you know, for God's purpose. And if you allow me, I will say money is good, but looking for money is hard. And sometimes people, like personally, me, I would just say when growing up, in my mindset, seeing how people treat money and how people talked about money, I was the type that when I was growing up, I was thinking, this is how I want to get my money, and this is how I want to use the money. In my own thought, I was thinking, you know, it's something that, number one, you don't need to work hard. Number two, it's just something that you just come, and then you don't need any emotional intelligence to even apply to what you have. And then growing up, meeting up with realities, I began to see it totally different from what I was thinking growing up. And that affected me, and then gets me frustrated. Why am I saying this? Because I know people are watching this, and then people have different mindset of how they want to get money and how they want to use it. Some, their idea is just to get money and to intimidate others. Some is to get money, to use it wrongly, to acquire more. So that really affected me, like I was saying. But growing up, meeting other people that have a different idea on how money generally, what money generally is all about, not the way the world is even looking at it, and then the ways to acquire it, and then ways to spend it. I would say, Engineer Tony, you're one. You help me a lot. When I hear you talk about money, and then how to attract money, how to put money into use, and sometimes how to even look at money like it's not something that you will tie your life to it. And then narrowing it down, looking at Bible, and then looking at it from the angle of, not from the letter angle of it, but from the revelational angle of it, of what money is all about, how to put it to use, and then how to even control it. That really helped me. And then at a point, I would say I was moving towards depression, because I feel so many things that was not working. I was thinking it's because of lack of money. But getting those knowledge now helped me, and it caught so many things. And I began to see life moving. You know, the money that I was thinking wasn't there, but still life was taking balance, simply because, you know, I was having a wrong idea generally about money.
Well, while growing up, I like that you mentioned while growing up, there was a certain mindset that was already built. Different people have different mindsets, as you said earlier. And for me personally, I had this, that while growing up, they always tell me, do what you have to do what you need to do, and then trust that God will provide. So before I go to school, I'm already saying, okay, so I'm just going to go and read. If I read my books, I know God will provide my school fees regardless. However it is, He will still provide my school fees. So I know that whatever it is, God is going to provide. That's the mentality I grew up with. And I don't know how I'm going to relate it with this saying that I've been hearing a lot these days that says, the more you run after money, or the more you chase after money, the more it runs from you. And I believe that Engineer Tony can do justice to that.
Why? Why? Am I money?
It's just that anytime we're talking about money and how you manage your money, you have a way of projecting how you manage your money in a way that does sound really reliable and like it's like reality.
You have taken classes from me. Yeah. Have you applied them?
Yes.
Have they worked?
Yes.
So tell us the one that worked.
I think they should hear from the horse's mouth.
First and foremost, I'll give you a story. My wife will always say, now that you have money, now that you have money. I told her I have never been poor. We think differently when it comes to money. She said that, now that you have money, I said, tell me, since you met me, at what point did you ever see me poor? Because if poverty is not the absence of money, if poverty is the absence of money, then everybody in this life had been poor before. Poverty is not the absence of money, and riches is not the presence of physical cash. When last did you have a surgery?
Never.
Are you that rich? When last were you admitted in the hospital? Are you that rich? See, are you that rich? Do you have 100,000 in your account? Are you that rich? You know, but of a truth, if you have sense to reason things that are spiritual, you will understand life, and life will be easy for you. Life will be easy for you. When people are uncomfortable, they think it's money that makes them comfortable. Yesterday I was on radio somewhere, and then I said, money is not some people's problem. Go to the hospital, you will see. Money is not there. Somebody's leg is hung up there, but he's rich. At that point in time, if you say, so we need 200, I said, my wife has my ATM card. Don't be asking me money. Get this leg working. I want to go. I have this trip to attend. I have this meeting. So what is money? If money is paper with some ink on it, why won't everybody make the paper with some ink on it from their houses? Again, if money is paper and some ink on it, are we out of paper in this country? Why won't Central Bank just print 10 billion for everybody? We have paper, we have ink. We will even contribute money to buy the ink. So let them print. But you see, the spirituality of money is not that way. And people don't understand. The people that are rich, well, they are still looking for money. They are still making money, rather. But you know what? They are looking for relevance, not money. But they are still making the money. They are looking for relevance. Recently, we just had the director of finance of ECWA. He published a book. And the title was, Money, How Much is Enough? Is money ever enough? If you are spending, good. How much you spend a day? No tax figure. How much can you spend a day that will be enough for you? Not what you spend. Like if I ask you, how much would you spend a day that would be enough for you?
Depends actually, so you can't have a
Okay, give me a ballpark figure.
but
like,
maybe about 3,000 to 5,000. Yeah.
Okay, let's say you are giving 10,000 every day. In a month, how much would that be? 300,000. 310,000?
Depends.
Okay. 310,000 times 12 times 10 is 3.1 million. Then plus 320 plus 620. That's 3,720,000 in a year. Have you ever had that money before? Your problem, like 3 to 5,000 can take care of you in a day. But I doubled it up and I said 10,000 in a day. And I plussed it. I multiplied it by 12 months. I multiplied it by 31 days, which is 310, and I multiplied that by 12 months. Gave us, I'm not too certain now, but it gave us something like 3,710,000. I have had that kind of money before. I didn't have money. You see, people always think that if I can have this, I am well. They don't understand the spirituality of money, that is why. If you are earning 50,000 now, your needs will not be that of 50,000. Your needs will be that of 100,000, 150, 200,000. That is why people make the mistake of saying there is unemployment in Africa. Not even in Nigeria. There is no unemployment. People are just underemployed. But there are jobs everywhere. There are jobs everywhere. I can even see, I have friends that are saying, we are looking for, do you know anybody that can be doing this for us? And the pay is good. But you know what? People are not unemployed. People are underemployed. Because there is work everywhere. But you are just feeling, how can me, a graduate, take 40,000? How can me, a graduate, take 20,000? How can me, a graduate, take 15,000? It is an employment opportunity, but you feel underemployed to do that. Because your level of life, your level of living needs 200,000 to be well taken care of. That is the lie that has been infused into your imaginations or your mindset or your thinking. By the time you start making that 120, 150, 200,000 a month, that same lie will give you a higher level of life. At this level, why are you living in a 2-bedroom flat? You should. At this level, you can take a loan in 6 months, you have paid. Get that car you want. And then you see people living in debt. I am owing this person 2 million. I'm owing this person 1.5 million. So even when you get a 2 million naira job a month, you will feel like this neighborhood is not mine. That is the psychology of money. I was discussing with the same person I talked to you about, Mr. Friday Ivema, who wrote the book Money, How Much Is Enough. He said, any house that single-handedly you can't sweep it in 15 minutes, that you don't need that house, is too big for you. It's a mindset. And recently, I just came back from watching, came back from my house, from watching people's houses abroad, and I saw a house of $100 and something million, 200. A house is like a whole area. It's one person's house with staff quarters. People who clean, take care of the house every day. When these people go broke, they don't last. When such people go bankrupt, they don't last. Why? Because all of these things are more there. When you wake up in the morning, someone's job is to ask you what you want. Ask your husband what he wants. Ask your children what they want. And when you say it, he just hands it over to the chef, and they are making it. And when you say you don't like it, ma'am, would you like to have something else? That is their job. But now you are waking up to thinking of what you want, going to the grocery store to get it, coming back to make it, sitting down to eat it. These are different levels of depression for that person.
True. Very true.
So Prudence, money is not that new 1,000 naira note we have in Nigeria. It's not that 500. That's not money. That is a representation of money. Money is in the mind. Money is in the mind. Riches in the mind. There are times you feel like dying, I've not eaten. Somebody just says, Prudence, you are doing well on Equa television. 20,000. Suddenly hunger disappears. But that was the same hunger that you tied to money. Now the money is there, the hunger is missing, but the money is present.
You know, interestingly, what you just said, I think it happened to me once while I was still doing my internship at one radio station. And I sat down and I was just thinking, tomorrow I don't even have a TP to come to work. I don't know how I'm going to come to work. I don't even know if I come to work, what should I eat? So I was just sitting down in that dilemma and someone came in, walked in.
See, she called it a dilemma.
And someone just walked in. They had a small argument. I wasn't even in the argument. I was just sitting down beside. They had this argument, and the next thing he's saying, whatever you give her, I'm going to triple it. And I'm just so lost. Like, what are they talking about here? It's just like, I'm just going to give her 1,000 transport home. And the other person was like, okay, so take 3,000. Like, he literally just handed over the 3,000 to me. And I was shocked. But at that moment, I had no idea where I was going to get. But the moment I got that money, is like every other, how am I going to get to work tomorrow? How am I going to get? It just disappeared. So basically, I just wanted to watch us on that point that you made. Like, sometimes is what you, when you're thinking, a lot of thinking, no, this is what I need to do, this is what I need to do, and you're burdened by it. For someone, it's just...
This is not for anybody to be frivolous with their monies. But when you always think about tomorrow, you'll always be frustrated. When you always think about later, you'll be frustrated. There are several things we still can't even explain how we got by them. Sister, you can't explain. You have 100,000 naira now. You want to solve the immediate needs of now, but somebody say, be wise, so. There's tomorrow, there's this. I'm not saying be frivolous. I'm also saying wear a positive mentality that there is much more where that 100,000 came from. Do you know the money that is in this world? It's not a figure, it's imaginary. You cannot even imagine it. Just think about all the monies that people have. If these monies were printed, where will we keep them? You understand what I'm saying? Just imagine all the money that everybody has. Let's say Equa has 20 billion, Cooking has 50 billion, CBN Jos alone has 300 billion, GTB has 4 billion. All of the money, business people, let's just bring it to one place, and then they carry the money of American president, American government, and everywhere. They just bring it to one place. You think they are all printed? They are not. They are not. Did you do a transfer recently?
Yeah.
Did the money leave your... Do you see the 5,000 going? It's almost like imagining it that way. This thing of money, it doesn't exist. There is a replica of it that is printed and given to us. You see, when the Bible says you should not be bothered about what you shall eat, what you shall wear, or what you shall put on, it's also saying do not be conscious of money. What did Jesus say? He said the birds in the field. He says he's talking about these animals. They don't even have, he's talking about foxes having no holes and all of that. He says it's God that is keeping them. But how much more you? Created in his own image and likeness. I'm not saying just stay at home and expect money to come. No, do something. But if your ultimate goal in life is to make money, you will make the money and be useless. There are so many people. You think the richest people that they call, Forbes magazine naming these people rich and all of that. You think is by the money they have. It's not so. There are people that are richer than these people. They don't just want anybody to start talking about them. I tell you what, in the world, right, this is going to shock you. In the world, there are, you are in the 1% of the lineup of rich people if you are worth $32,000 a year. Do you understand what I'm saying? In the world, right now, if you are worth $32,000 in a year, $32,000 in a year, then you are in the 1% of rich people on earth. No, you don't get what I'm saying. I think it's difficult for you to understand. Like
1%.
Let me punch. Do I have a calculator on my phone now? Awesome. $32,000 times, what is it? 730 I said yesterday.
Yeah.
730 equals 23,360,000. If you make these figures in a year, you are in the 1% of rich people on earth. According to people who count money. I was watching this analysis and I was asking myself, okay, so this level is where certain people are. So maybe I'm just imagining, if you make double, you are at the second level.
2%.
If you make triple, you are at the 3%.
3%.
So how many people in this world do you think are on that level of that 1%? How many percent of the people in the world do you think, Prudence, are on that 1%? Like, simply put, how many people earn $32,000 in a year in the world? How many percent of people do you think?
It's $2,000 in a year. I think maybe about in the world.
In the world.
Yes.
A percentage in the world. I think I'll run with around 20%.
Solo.
Wow. In the world. I would say 50.
I would say 15, 17, 19. I wouldn't think 20. In the world, people that earn $32,000 a year in the world, I would say, if I'm pressed like talking, I'll say maybe 20 with you. But yet, look at poverty. Do you get the point? So this money that you are working real hard to get, you are not thinking of growing your intelligence and your knowledge. No, you are looking for money. And I think it was you or Prudence that said this from the beginning of the show, that the more you look for money, the more money runs away from you.
Runs away. Prudence.
That is why I would always advise, don't work on having money. Don't work on having money. Don't work on having money. Work on becoming someone. With who you eventually become, you will have plenty of this money. If you work on having money, you will not become anybody. You keep working on having money, and people will not even recognize that work that you are doing to have money. And before long, you will feel irrelevant of yourself. And you start feeling, I have not achieved anything in this life. And when you start feeling, I have not achieved anything in this life, depression sets in. And before you know it, you are looking for substances that can take your life out.
And it is really important that you work on more on your capacity, who you are, what you are giving out to the world, instead of just focusing on following money. Because the truth of the matter is that apart from money, a lot of things that you chase after, you end up not getting it. The moment you're chasing after something, it's like, oh, so you want to catch me? Let me see how you're going to get to me. and the thing begins to run and run and run and run, and you begin to suffer. But sometimes when you sit down and you're working hard at your post, when you're doing what you need to do, and you're doing it right, whatever is it, prestige, it comes to you, integrity comes to you, because you rather, if you're giving your all to something and you're focused on it, you would give your best. But if you're not doing that, then you give your worst, and when you give your worst, your expectations cannot be met. So it's best to work on yourself most of the times, and then that's what happens also with money. So it's best to work on yourself so that you'll be able to get the money that you think that you're needing at that moment. Because I think that I agree when you say that it's all in the mind. And something about money is that when the Bible spoke about the love of money, they did not have currencies like paper money like we did.
It was a barter system.
Exactly. So what was he talking about exactly when he said the love of money?
I didn't even think of it that way. I didn't even think of it that way. See, that confirms the fact that this thing, money, is just paper and ink with some security numbers on it, just so that the economy can be controlled. If not, I'm telling you, the president of this country can instruct the CBN governor, please, everybody should have 1 billion for Salah. Every Nigerian, please print 1 billion and give them. If it were easy to do that, if it's difficult to do that, think about it. When the president's daughter is getting married, they do jotters and they give everybody free. They also print the jotters. They do programs. They print it. It's also printing. So why is that one difficult to do? Because it's a spirit. You can't print a spirit. Like I sat down and I was thinking, when Boko Haram was killing everybody, well, killing multiple people, bombing this place, bombing that place, and I found out that the Nigerian government was busy talking about how they can buy weapons, how they can fight these guys alike, and all that. And I sat down and I thought, I said, Kai, terrorism is a spirit, and you cannot shoot a spirit. So when you buy these guns, you kill people. Today you come and celebrate, we have taken 200 terrorists down. But is the spirit of terrorism alive? If it's still alive, then tendencies and chances are that more terrorists can be recruited. But I'll keep saying, I won't stop saying, it will be funny, it will be laughable, but I'll say it. EMS of Equa Television, Radio Elwa, they are the solution to things like that. You will never believe it. Are you if I give you bomb and I say go to terminals and drop it, will you drop it? Why? Because of the information you have. The person that is dropping the bomb, they didn't just give him without him knowing what it is and sent him. No, he was trained. He was trained for 10, 15, 20 years for one event. Because you can't throw bomb twice. If you throw it once, it will kill you. So it's one event.
One event.
Tie it on your body like this. When you get there, say this before you detonate it. So the person was trained for 20 years for one mission. Tell me, what are we training our children to do? Even this issue of money. My children say things like, Daddy, since you say you are rich, why would you buy us an airplane? Sometimes you don't have answers to these questions. Sometimes I just tell them, for now, I don't need it. But when I need it, I will buy it. They say, us, we need it. We don't want to be traveling by road. I say, okay, but you guys fly. You fly. You can pay somebody. I have always had this mentality that the person that is renting is richer than the person that owns the house. Because if you think that way, you understand. The person that is renting the house is the person feeding the owner of the house.
When I was living in a rented apartment, my landlord told me clearly that it is your school fees that I'm using to pay my daughter, your rent that I'm using to pay my daughter's fees. I said, okay. So certain times I try to keep the daughter at home. Certain times I try. So you see, you need to have a positive mindset towards money. You need to have a positive mindset towards money. Some people set goals. This year, we are making 25 million. There's nothing wrong with it. But what do you have that will give you the 25 million? When you have the 25 million, what are you doing with it? What is a positive course that 25 million is going into? Is it just gain for the organization? Is it just gain for the organization? It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, sir. This money you see, some people, there are two ways to make money, whether you like it or not. Hard work and brain work. Hard work and brain work. Have you been to a local site where we do construction in Nigeria? We are building it's rocky. Sometimes you need to shift some stones to do. Oh, Chabe! They'll push it small. Oh, Chabe! They'll push it small. But have you seen companies like Julius Berger in construction? If they see that stone, they'll just, where is this way? Go and bring. They'll just bring one machine to come do this. No, Chabe. That's brain work. That's not hard work. That's brain work. The only effort that you need to put to move that team is someone to be in a what do you call it? Maybe excavator or something, and to just have that team lifted from one position to the other. That's brain work. Now look at the time that it will take 50 men pushing this rock, and the time it will take one person that will just drive a heavy equipment and move it. If you are moving 50 of these at 2,000 naira each, before you go for break, the 50 people that are sweating and pushing it, these Jarawa men that are pushing it, before you go for break, that Tangale man that has sense has picked this thing like this and has Jarawa people, I love you, the love of God. It's a joke.
You know, there's this verse that says, the Lord makes poor and makes rich. He brings low and he exalts. You know, 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 7. And you talked about issue of mindset, and then I look at it from our own constituency. You know, how you see, you can't take knowledge out of this mindset. What is that in that mind, you know, that control everything you do, particularly the issue of money, how to get it and how to spend it? And then you see this teaching out there that, you know, like this verse, the Lord makes the poor, you know, and then the rich. And then someone is like, well, that's how God designed, you know, for me to just be and to be poor. Because the poor, you shall always see, you know, like what Jesus says, you know. So you just have that information.
Always have with you.
Yeah.
Yes, the poor you always have with you. And then you settle for just, this is what the Bible say, and the word of God is yea and amen. And you embrace it. And then you are like, okay, this is all that I have, and I'm okay. You know, I don't want to go any further. And you see people settling with that, and it affects their mindset on even how to go about, you know, looking for money. Like I rightly said earlier, you know, when growing up, there are certain teachings, you know, some doctrines that you know was around us, you know, we have been fed with, and then you attach everything about your life with the issue of money. Once there is no money, and then you just feel frustrated, you just feel things will not work, you just feel, you know, life is not being fair, to you. But you look at it, when you mention the issue of spirit, can you kill spirit? The answer is no. But if money is a spirit, how do you control, something that is of a spirit? That means you need a higher spirit to do that, to control that. And for me, I would say if you need a higher spirit, then that means you have to know what the Bible says concerning money. You have to know how to apply it, because it's not just knowing, but you have to understand. Because when you talk about dealing with the spirit, definitely you have to be involved in the things of the spirit too, because before you can be able to deal with whatever that is of a spirit. And that is the reason why the Bible talked about the issue of contentment. The same Bible talked about the issue of hard work. The same Bible talked about the issue of giving. Because it says he who gives, is better than he who receives.
Oh, it also says, with the measure you give, it will be given to you.
It will be given unto you. And then you just imagine that you want to give, and then in your mind you are saying you don't have money. But you still want to give. You understand? So, and you don't want to generate the money that you will give, or the money that you buy something that it will be useful in the kingdom. So you see, knowing and understanding the word of God and its revelation on how to apply it, helps you. And that's the reason why you just see somebody that wear the garment of contentment. It's not that the person is lazy. It's hard work. In what he does, probably maybe the issue of construction that you talk about, but I'm looking at it from the angle of people that give blocks, people that give the concrete. They go out for their daily basis, daily income. They get the money. It's from the money they give offering wholeheartedly. I know some people happily. I know some people that remove their tithe like daily. Immediately you pay them for their hard work, they will remove it. And weekly, that's when they gather the money and they do the remittance. And then you see them wearing that garment of contentment, like they are happy. Yes, in their mind they are hoping that one day they can make better. They can make millions.
While I wait for it to be better, I can't be idle. You see, so you talk about a point that will take us about another 45 minutes to explain. And you brought this upon the show, so let's deal with it. The Bible says the poor you will always have with you. So I don't believe that the Bible is talking about people that don't have money. I believe the Bible is talking about those who think that way will always be with you. Who are the poor? Just think about it. Beggars and all that. You don't have what some beggars have. So you can't tie me down to believing poverty is absence of money. The Bible sometimes is metaphoric. Sometimes it's a figure of speech. Sometimes it's illustrations. Sometimes they are parables. Now, if the Bible is talking about, let me read something to you in Romans chapter 8, verse 13. Let me start from 12. Therefore, brethren, we are debtors. We are what? Debtors, not to the flesh, but to the life after the flesh. Listen to 13. If ye live after the flesh, ye shall die.
But if ye through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live. Make your body mortal. If you mortify it, you will live. That means you should look up to the things that are above. Not above. Don't live your life according to the economy of this world. That is what this script. That's how I want to. And let me not say that's what it means. Theologians are watching, but that is the definition that I give this scripture. Don't live your life based on the economy of this world. And you see, a lot of people will argue with me. How can you live your life not based on the economy of this world? Okay, if you are arguing, let me ask you a question. How have you been living? Just go back and check. How did that your son, your daughter, your children, how did they finish secondary school through to university and they got married, now they are supporting you? Can you explain it? On your salary as a DCC secretary, as a DCC chairman, as a pastor in a church. You go to some churches, you see pastor is telling you his salary is 40-something thousand, 50,000. Yet his daughter is in the university. If you can explain that, then you are stealing. If that is not the grace of God, sir, our children, some of them have sense to come back home, not to tell us what they went through in school. As a father, think about it. As a father, think about it. Your child is in the university, living in a different town as you are. And then for the next 6 months that child may not come home, except for eventualities, usual occurrences in Nigeria like strike and all of that. But let's say for the 3 to 6 months that child will never come home, how much did you give the child? You went to a university that you were living in the school. And the university you went to, I know it very well. You were buying food regularly. Did your father give you money that measured up every food you ate?
No.
There are times you even go, a friend will even pay for your meal. So what is that called? Favor and grace. So you can't live your life as a Christian based on the economy of this world. Your mind should not always be on money. Your mind should be on the sufficiency of God's grace. If it's on money, you have lost it. You live a meaningless life. Because, sir, it will get to a point that you will have a disease that money cannot cure. What are you falling back to? Sir, I have never seen money as a support system for anything I do. Never ever. And I will not till Jesus takes my life. If I decide that I'm dying, because me, I'm waiting for rapture. If you don't want, if you are angry, you should die. I'm not stopping you from dying. But me, there's no death for me. I'm waiting for rapture. Because the Bible says some people will be raptured. I want to be part of them. Is it a wrong thing to desire? No. Prudence, what's the problem? Nothing. Me, I'm waiting for rapture. But until that rapture, my life will not be based on any currency. Let me be honest with you, and I don't mean to brag. Recently, I just remembered that I have money in my domiciliary account. It's been there for over 2 years. Recently, I think it's about a week or so. It's not like I don't have needs. It's not like I don't have needs. I do. I have had times and opportunities to steal from Equa Television. As a young person, I want to live the life. I've had privileges of stealing. But a struggling station like this, if you steal from it, what is left of it? So my life is not based on, see, you can have money now. What you are thinking of, if money comes, you do it, they will all disappear.
True.
Spend the money and see they will come back. You will try and remember. You will not remember. But spend the money and see. Some people are just thinking, I know somebody is watching and say, what is this man saying? How will I pay rent? How will I do this? You will grow to that level, you will understand. I have always, the first time I made $1 million, I think I showed you the building where I collected my first 1 million.
Yes, you did.
The first time I made $1 million, I borrowed money from my sister so that I won't touch a kobo. You know, if you touch 1 kobo from 1 million, it's no longer 1 million. So you know. I borrowed 200,000 from my sister. I had 1 million. See my mentality. I asked myself, I said, what is this? Meanwhile, that 1 million can never be multiplied if you kept it as 1 million.
True.
Until you spend it. So I remembered. So I paid my sister her money. I spent it within 2-3 weeks. 1 million was reduced to 0 naira. I said, since I made this money, I'm the one now. I can still make it. From 1 million, 2 million.
Keep growing.
Well, I just wanted to also, just to buttress on your point, that
nobody should call me after the show. It's just illustration. Staff will come and say our lunch. And just say how I made. You know what is not physical, it's in the mind.
It's in the mind.
I'll give you the one that is in the mind.
Yeah, okay, so
one route, she's Play with camera as if she's not hearing. Don't come and meet me at the end of the show, sir.
Okay.
I will refer you back to Facebook where you go and rewatch the show.
The show.
Well, I just wanted to say that the team of ECHO for this year is occupied till I come, and from the illustration, you would see how somebody walked to this capacity and gained this, and then the other one just kept his. So the thing is that when you have something to do it well, and that's the only way that you're going to multiply. If not, you're just going to be stagnant and not get nothing. So it's important that you put your heart to work, you put your mind to work anytime that you find yourself at any circumstances that you find yourself. Yes, we are ending the show.
We should thank Equa Television supporters. You are the reason why we are on air, and we are grateful, and you are the reason our level of innovations are determined by you. The more you give, the more we do more excellent things, and we are very, very grateful. May the Lord bless you wherever you take from. People give us money at the beginning of the month, at the end of the month, just so that we can keep doing what we are doing. We are grateful. Some people, their work is to criticize. We are still grateful because your criticism makes us grow. The money grows us as well. We are grateful. We need both. Thank you very much. God
Some
bless
prayers.
you. Some prayers. Thank you very much.
Keeping
God
us.
bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for doing this with me. Thank you. All right, I'll tell them my name. It was lovely doing this. I am Prudence Bruga, as instructed by my boss. Well, that brings us to the close of today's program. It was beautiful having you, and we do hope that you join us again next week. Bye for now.